Hi, class. Today we're going to continue working on solving real world math problems. We are going to be looking at a specific type of question today that is what we call comparing. They use special words like how many more, or how many less, or how many fewer. So for this lesson, you will need either a notebook and a pencil, or a piece of scratch paper and a pencil, or a whiteboard and a dry erase marker, whatever you can use to write down and solve some problems. So why don't you pause the video, go and get those tools, and then hit play when you get back. All right, so we're ready to rock and roll here. We talked about, we're looking for some special clue words. Some clue words that we're looking for in the story problem is when they say how many more, or when they say how many less, or how many fewer. When you see those words in a story problem, it means you're going to compare how many things, flowers, rocks, songs that people have. Let's look at an example here. Here's my first question. It says Mary baked 19 chocolate chip cookies. Tate baked 32 chocolate chip cookies. How many more did Tate bake than Mary? So right away I see those clue words. How many more? That is telling me they want me to compare with these two characters. So then I'm going to go and look for some important information or numbers. I know that Mary baked 19 cookies and Tate baked 32 cookies, and we want to find out how many more Tate had than Mary. So if I would start to draw a little picture, I know I don't want to draw out 32 chocolate chip cookies, but I could just make a little picture for me that Tate's equals 32 and Mary's equals 19. Well, to find out how many more Tate has than Mary, I can do some subtracting. Now, when I subtract, remember I want to put the bigger number up top. So I'll write 32 minus 19. And I want to line everything up, draw my equal sign down below. Now, you can be doing this on your own paper. So will you write this problem? 32 minus 19. And you know that sometimes to keep us organized, we like to put this line between the ones and the tens place. And when we subtract, we're always going to start over here in the ones place. And we're going to look, is there more on top or more on the floor? Well, there's more on the floor. So we need to go next door and get some more. So I cross off that 3. And since I take 1 away from the 3, there's only 2 left. And the one that I took, I can put either right out in front of that 2 or cross it off and write it up there. It's 12. Now there's more on top. No need to stop. I know that 12 minus 9 is, you're right, 3. And 2 minus 1 is, you're right, 1. And I have the number 13. Now, last week we talked about we have to go back and make sure it makes sense. And if we answer the question, how many more did Tate bake than Mary? Did he bake 13 more? A way I can go back and check my answer is to work backwards and do the opposite. I could take 13 plus the 19. And it should equal what, do you think? It should equal Tate's 32. So let's look. 3 plus 9 is 12. Carry the 1 up. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. That's how I can go back and check my work. But for now, the answer of how many more did Tate bake than Mary? Tate baked, here's my answer, 13 more. So when I'm writing my answer, 13, and then my label would be more. And what are we talking about? You're right, cookies. All right, let's try another one. I'll go to my next slide. Here's my next real world problem for you. Sarah has 43 M&Ms. Alan has 59 M&Ms. How many fewer M&Ms does Sarah have than Alan? So I saw a clue word there. Did you? It's even in bold. It says, how many fewer? And I remember some math words. The word fewer means it's less than. So we want to know how many less does Sarah have than Alan? Well, our important information in here, we know that Sarah has 43 and Alan has 59. And again, I like to just write it off to the side. I'm not going to really draw a picture with all those M&Ms because that would take too long. But Sarah's equals 43. And Alan, I'll put an A for Alan, he has 59. Well, remember from the beginning, we said when we're going to look for how many more or how many fewer or less, we're going to subtract. And when we write out a subtraction problem, we always write the larger number up on top. So right now, will you pause the video and will you write your subtraction problem for this story problem? Did you write 59 minus 43? If you did, you were correct. Now you can organize it by drawing your line. We know we're going to subtract, so we're going to look at this ones place. Is there more on top or more on the floor? Well, there's more on top, so there's no need to stop. 9 minus 3 is 6. And we go to the tens place, and there's more on top. 5 minus 4 is 1. And so we think our answer is 16. Well, another way we can check our answer is we can do some counting up. We know that Sarah has 43 and Alan has 59. So I can start at this 43 and count up to 59. So after 43, we have 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, and 59. And I was using my fingers to count, and I counted 16 more. I could use a number line for this, or I could use a hundreds chart, or I could go and use tally marks. After 43, it's 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and I have 16 tally marks. So we know in math there's many different ways to solve a problem. It's what works best for your math brain. It might be subtracting like we did first in this problem. It might be counting up like we used to check our work. Whatever works best for you, but we like to teach you lots of different strategies. The next problem looks like this. A pizza shop had an order to make 80 pizzas. From that order, they have already made 30 of the pizzas. How many more pizzas do they need to make? So right away, I see the important words. How many more? And I know we talked about we are going to subtract. And I'm going to look for some important informations. They need to make 80 and they've already made 30 of the pizzas. Will you pause the video, write your subtraction problem, and solve, or count up as another strategy to find out how many more pizzas do they need to make? Ready to check your answer? If you're going to use subtraction as a strategy, you wrote 80 minus 30. I'm ready to subtract. I can do some mental math. I know that 8 minus 3 is 5, and I bring down the 0. 50. How many more pizzas do they need to make? 50. I could also use my counting up strategy. I know they've already made 30 and they have to go to 80, so I could count by tens. After 30, we have 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That would be 5 and counting by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 50 more pizzas. So whatever strategy you use, subtraction or counting up, we want you to come up with the answer of 50. And if we were going to write our label, we'd write 50 more pizzas. This lesson is making me hungry. How about you? Okay, I have one more problem that I would like you to solve and then check with me. Here's the problem. You pick 34 flowers. Your friend picked 27 flowers. How many more flowers did you pick? I see a clue words. How many more? I know two different strategies we've been working on. Will you pause the video, try and solve this problem, and then hit play so I can reveal what the answer is? All right, are you ready to see the answer? Well, I picked 34 flowers, or you, and your friend picked 27 flowers. When we have a how many more problem, we're going to subtract. And you see, I wrote the larger number on top. I always start in the ones place. Is there more on top or more on the floor? There's more on the floor. So I need to go next door and do some borrowing. Is this what you did? Well, here's the doubles fact. 14 minus 7 is 7 because I know 7 plus 7 equals 14. And 2 minus 2 is 0. So my answer is 7 more flowers. But we said there's more than one way to solve a problem, so maybe you did some counting up. You knew that you picked 34 and your friend picked 27. And you want to find the difference, how many more you had than your friend. So you could start at the smaller number and count up. After 27, we have 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. And how many did I count up? 7. So that would be another way to solve the problem.